Good morning! We're back with more Arcade Spirits. On to talking about games we're actually playing. Alright, we are on Chapter 3. I have my tea made and cooling. Level 3, take it to the max. It is the future year 20XX, and today is the day. Well, not the actual big day when we reveal Wyvern Keep, but a big day in relation to that big day, and I am completely stressed out. My mission, should I choose to accept it, and I kind of already chose to accept, is to spread the word about the upcoming Funplex event. The one that I'm in charge of. The one I've put a ton of effort and hope into already. The one where, if nobody shows up, it spells doom for all. Hey, no pressure, right? I mean, if I fail, I'll only be the laughingstock of the entire Funplex. They'll call me the Funplex failure for the rest of my days. I'll be shamed, forced to wear a giant red F on my chest. Snap out of it. Let's focus on what's right here, right now. Specifically, a giant conglomerate horde of people. It's the MAX convention, not PAX. MAX. They keep bumping into me. And smell like corn chips. And there is nowhere to run. I might be in a little over my head here. Working in the arcade, I've gotten used to smaller crowds. My skin has gotten a little thicker and restrained to sticky soda hands touching me accidentally. Ugh. But nothing could have prepared me for the sheer scope and scale of this. Just me and, oh, I don't know, maybe 50,000 other people. I know Naomi is the one who doesn't like crowds. Not me, but come on now. This isn't a crowd. It's a Gojira-sized evacuation mosh pit. Complete with Gojira-sized screens hanging overhead, constantly showing advertisements for arcade games and industry happenings.
Hey!
Wow, it's so exciting. Isn't it exciting? That is a word, yes! I've never really been to one of these things. What a spectacle! Thanks for giving me a ticket. I really needed to get away for the weekend.
Ooh.
How are you holding up? Looking a little green around the gills there. Everything is fine. It's not my favorite thing ever, but I can handle this. I'll just repeat my mantra. This is fine. Everything is fine. Everything will be okay. Not an ideal situation, but I got this, Juniper. Sure, there'll be a struggle, but what doesn't traumatize me today can always traumatize me later.
BFFs for life!
This is exactly why I came here with you, to help you in your hour of need. And to get away for the weekend, but still, hour of need. It's true, Juniper has helped me get through a lot, but beyond generalities, I think she specifically wanted to make it up to me for the whole job offer situation. It's nice to have her here. We're not going to let a little thing like that stay as a sticking point between us. So what's the plan? Huh? We can't just stand here around all day. There's a lot of ground we need to cover to make your Funplex a success. Funplex a success. That's harder to say than it feels like it should be. How are we going to attack this? What's the first move? I was just going to sort of play it by ear. You didn't plan for this? Like, at all? I was too busy lying awake all night stressing out to worry about planning things. Look, I'm new at event management, much less event promotion. Hulyen. Well, let's start with this. Juniper swings her book bag off her shoulders and crouches on the ground. She opens it up and pulls out a stack of papers. Hold these. I cradle them in my arms. Okay, I'm holding these. What are these exactly? Flyers, silly, the ones you wanted for promoting your big event. I managed to print off quite a few before the boss started giving me weird looks. Why are copier rules always so strict in office jobs? It's just paper, and I needed it. I flip a sheet over and I start to remember. It was about 2 weeks ago. Ashley and I were holding down the fort that day. Gavin locked himself in the office and told me that if I bothered him for anything other than emergency, that I would not live to regret it. Francine stayed home that day. She was marathoning a competitive knitting show or something like that. Naomi was out shopping for some extra parts. The Dig Dug machines were acting up again. The buttons were sticking from a kid spilling a slushie on it. So it started as a pretty boring day in an empty funplex changed rapidly. When Teo came into the funplex carrying an armload of giant rolled-up posters.
Hello there.
Heyo! Welcome home, Teo.
Hiya.
Good morning, my fair Teo. How'st art thou? Only so. Freaking excited! I might explode into 1,000 bits. Please don't. That'd be an awful mess to clean up. We don't have nearly enough hydrogen peroxide to get out the bloodstains, and I don't have a plastic tub full of lye to dissolve your body parts in. Not to mention the years of therapy Hulyen and I will have to go through to get over how horrible it would be to watch your friend die violently in front of you. I just can't afford it.
Sheesh.
It's just a turn of phrase. Chill. I'm not going to literally explode. But, guess what's happening in 2 weeks? It's something huge for us. Are they showing a compilation of internet cat videos at the movie quad? Please, please tell me we're finally going to replace the blindingly horrid casino-like carpet beneath our feet. Hey, I like the carpet. It's fun. No and no. Okay, I guess I've teased it enough. Teo took the poster he was clutching and unravels them before us. It's Max time! Ooh, they're on Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
Max? Max is already here?
Poops.
I thought that wasn't for another month. That means I really gotta double down on my cosplay production. Say goodbye to sleeping for the next 2 weeks. I've got so much to do now.
Bummer.
I know, right? I still have to meet with all the dancers and work on our synchronized dance routine. Nearly not enough time to perfect it. I have to find a good time and place for an international Showtime stage community gathering. I still have to finish hand sewing all the embellishments on my tailcoat. Find or make a decent pocket watch. And start and finish my 3rd cosplay. Death take me now. But wait, can we go back a minute? What exactly is Max? The best gaming convention ever. Did you both plan to say that in unison? Regardless, I'm still mostly confused and require further exposition. Max is the Mega Arcade Expo, an annual arcade gaming convention. It happens every year around this time over on the West Coast. But this year they're having a Max right here in our city. It's going to be the biggest one yet.
Yes!
I always go every year and show off my newest cosplay.
Love it.
It's a great way to meet a whole bunch of other arcade people. And catch up with those you haven't seen since the last convention. It's so much fun! Okay, yes, okay, I see why you're both excited. Sounds cool. Yep, and I was thinking we could put up some Max posters around the Funplex, you know, get all the locals hyped about it. That's a splendid idea, Teo. Finally, an East Coast Max. We gotta make sure everyone knows about it. That we do. Teo, Ashley, and I spent the next half an hour putting up posters around the Funplex. We plastered as many surfaces as we could without making it look too obscene. While we were pushing pins into the wall, Teo and Ashley kept telling me stories of past Maxes and all the fun they had. Their spirit was infectious at the very least. Hard for me to avoid ending up on the hype train. Choo-choo. But importantly, the more I heard, the more I started thinking about how we could use the event to benefit the Funplex in some way. As the Funplex's newly minted event manager, I had to be on the lookout for opportunities like these. Their very first Max on the East Coast would be perfect. Hey, can we promote the Funplex's event at Max? Good for local buzz, and maybe we convince some out-of-towners to stick around for it.
Ooh.
That's the one you've been working on, right? Yeah. I've got ideas for tournaments, token discounts, much to Gavin's displeasure, and more. And we'll be revealing the new game we got from the raid. I see. And do you have a name for this grand event yet? Yeah, what's it called? I've been thinking long and hard on coming up with the perfect name. But I think I figured it out. Are you ready? Am I? The suspense is killing us. The Funplex event will be called... Oh, we get to name the event. Uh-oh. 15 characters max. Uh-oh. Never mind Funplex Rising. It's a good Phoenix Rising pun. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. I don't have a better idea right now. I haven't had enough caffeine yet. I was thinking of calling it Funplex Rising. How's that sound, I wonder? That works. We shall call it Funplex Rising. What do you think? Eh? Oh, I do so love it.
Amazing!
It's perfect. Really? You named it Funplex Rising? There are worse things you could have called it. It's kinda catchy, though. Nice work, friend. Ha! Thanks, you two. So how do I get tickets to Max? How can we advertise there? And, how much would all of that cost? I'm still living off pizza bagels, you know. You mean you don't already have your tickets? They sell out on, like, day one, my friend. Actually, they sell out about 20 minutes on day one, and all the hotel rooms are gone way sooner. What? No. My greatest plan spoiled.
Beep beep.
While you were all talking, I located all the scalpers who were selling tickets online at exorbitant prices. Then I hacked into their IP addresses, found less than tasteful information on a couple of them, which would make their lives very difficult if it got out into the open. After contacting them, I promised I wouldn't leak such sensitive materials into the internet in exchange for selling us the tickets at their original prices.
Hooray!
And they gladly obliged. Such nice humans. I transferred the funds from your account to theirs and secured the tickets. You should be getting an email for 2 Max tickets in approximately 3, 2, 1, done! Oh, and I suggest you invite Juniper to come along as your second. According to Juniper's Iris, she's very stressed from her job and could use a mini vacation. Okay. But, Iris? That's kind of known as blackmail. What you just did is technically very, very illegal. Don't worry. I erased all possible leads back to you. You'll be fine. It's all in the name of helping the Funplex, isn't it? Just like you wanted me to do? Well, Iris has been dedicating herself to the event. I couldn't be doing it without her, even if we need to have another talk about human ethics. Fine, but next time let's do it without any federal crimes, okay? That's a very dangerous AI indeed. Okay, it's a promise. Regardless, hey, tickets! Now you can go! Sweet! And I'm not going to pity a few cold-hearted, bloodthirsty ticket scalpers myself. Those guys ruin events like Max. Also, while I was procuring your tickets, I stumbled across the Funplex's Facewall account. It hasn't been updated in exactly 13 weeks, 2 days, 14 hours, and 54 seconds. The Funplex's social media presence is completely non-existent. Wait, we have a Facewall account? I mean, that does make sense, but still, I had no clue of its existence. I sort of run it. I'm really bad at keeping up on it, though. It sounds like it would be Gavin's thing. Why isn't he in charge of it? Gavin couldn't care less about social media. He says that, and I quote, "Social media is where idiots go to yell at each other about nothing of any importance, and I'm not going to waste my time with it." That also sounds like Gavin. Yep. And Francine is too old to understand the importance of social media. Naomi is way too busy with all of her beloved games, so it fell into my hands. Which, as Iris stated, I haven't been doing a great job at it. Well, we should take advantage of it for this. We can use the Facewall account to spread the word of Funplex Rising. You're completely right. I should work harder at it. Or if you want, you could take it over. As the event manager, that makes sense. Sure. I really should take on this responsibility. It can only benefit the Funplex, and Ashley's right. Getting the word out is part of being an event manager. Right, I got this. Ashley, can you email me the login info? Yep, and yep. Ashley pulls out her phone and fiddles with it for a minute. Login, get. Congratulations, you are the new owner of our social media accounts. Huzzah! The power is all mine. Mine! Ashley, are you sure you want to give Hulyen this much power? The fact that she threw her head back and cackled isn't sign enough. I don't know what else is. I'm not worried one bit. Excellent. Hulyen, I can help the Funplex keep up with Facewall, too. I can program timed posts and use effective keywords and get the most out of each post. SEO is one of my many, many talents. That'd be helpful, actually. Just, you know, Don't break any laws.
Sounds good.
Understood. Do I have permission to access your contacts on your face wall? Sure. And there. I've sent out notifications to everyone on your friends list and your friends' list about Funplex Rising. That was fast. No joke. One more thing, your site should have about 75% more images. Did you know that 90% of people prefer looking at pictures online rather than reading? Sometimes I just don't understand you sentient beings. Your Iris does make a good point. We should totally come up with a poster for our event. We can hand them out at Max, too. And of course, put them up around the arcade. Okay. The arcade isn't too hectic today. Ashley, if you can watch the floor, I can go design us a sweet flyer to pass out to the con-goers. It is time to deploy my mad artist skills.
Ooh.
Sounds like a plan. Let's make this the best Max ever, one we'll never forget. Going to sip some tea. I spent the rest of the afternoon working hard on having the perfect design for our poster. Well, a design for our poster at any rate. Which brings me back around for the stack of papers currently in my arms, which do not, in fact, resemble the poster I designed. Oh, I took the liberty of tuning your poster just a little. And changing the font selection and picking out new clip art, rearranging everything and using a poppier color scheme. But I liked my original design. Hulyen, you used Comic Sans and Papyrus. Comic Sans is cool, right? Looks like a comic book. Gamer nerds love comic books, don't they? Papyrus was in that movie with the blue cat people aliens everybody loved. Take it from wannabe visual designer, Comic Sans is a one-way ticket to the uncool zone. But these new flyers are going to pull people in from the four corners of the globe. Oops. Well, yeah, I mean, these are kind of not bad. Pretty good, actually. Okay, they're superior by every conceivable metric. I didn't know you were an artist, Juniper.
Well, I mean...
I'm not really. I mean, I guess I'm good for pretending to be one, but I couldn't, like, make art for a living, right? I couldn't, Anyway, if that stack isn't enough, I also emailed you a copy of the original file. Just take it to a copy shop or something, and they can run off more. Publishing document, get. So, back to the point at hand, getting the information to the masses. Maybe if we just start yelling, "Hey, you guys!" Several people turn and look at us confusedly. Juniper!
What?
Yelling is probably not the best way to get our word out. And I'm actually still waiting for Ashley and Tay to show up. They promised they would help me, so I think I'll just hang out until they arrive. As you like. It seems my work here is done. Juniper pulls out her phone and checks it. You Funplex folks fling some flyers. As for me, there's a really cool panel I wanted to attend. How to get your foot in the door of the arcade art industry. I mean, not that I'm seriously thinking about it, just, you know, it's interesting and stuff.
Later!
Oh, it's starting in 10 minutes. I'll catch up with you at home. Good luck! Juniper waves as she trots off. I lose sight of her instantly as she ducks into the crowd. Growing up, I always knew that arcades were amazingly popular, but the reality of it all really didn't stick until being here at Max. Thousands of people all coming together for their love of games. It's actually pretty darn inspiring. I muster enough courage to wade my way through several hundred people in the main convention hall. Eventually, I find a safe space, a humble bench near the water fountains. I make this my home base while I wait for my friends. Since both Teo and Ashley are running late, I have some time to fully take in my surroundings, in a calmer fashion, of course. Everywhere I look, everything I see, it's all steeped in arcade culture. Booths are set up for all the major arcade companies, each table vying for the attention of the crowd. Some have spaces set up with stages, flashing lights, and people throwing t-shirts into lines of people. Can we talk about those lines for a second, though? There are lines for everything. Lines to play games, lines to go see a panel, lines to eat disgusting convention food, lines for the bathroom. There are even lines to get into other lines. They all just wait there, standing, happily chittering amongst themselves. I have trouble waiting in line for 10 minutes at the whole story for a coffee, let alone waiting in line for 3 hours just to play a game that'll be released in 4 months. These people aren't even human anymore. Their perseverance is godlike. The sensory output here is overwhelming. People are shouting and laughing as they crowd areas. Music pumps out of several different booths, making a weird mashup of notes and chiptunes. There's even a giant dinosaur that people can take selfies with. As I contemplate how I'm going to attract all these people to the Funplex Rising, I hear sounds of very loud and very upbeat music from behind me. I feel the bumping of the bass reverberate through my shoes, and I turn around. Hulyen! Teo sits down a colossal boombox at his feet. I recognize the music now, it's from Showtime Stage, and Teo is bumping his signature song. I motion for him to turn down the music, and he complies. The last thing I need to do is lose my voice from shouting before I even get the chance to talk to anybody. Hey! Sorry I'm late, I had some last-minute dance moves I had to incorporate into the routine. No worries, I just got here myself. Despite Max's many attempts to trample me, I have survived thus far. Yeah, looks like you were significantly non-trampled. Nicely done. Don't congratulate me yet, we still have the rest of the day to endure. What's with the boombox, by the way? Oh, this? It's for the Showtime Stage gathering. There are going to be a couple hundred of us from all over the world. I didn't realize there are Showtime Stage communities in other countries.
Absolutely.
We're actually the second biggest community. The largest is Japan. Several players flew all the way from Tokyo just to be part of our Showtime Stage flash mob. Is this really the best place for a flash mob? There's so many people here, an impromptu giant dancing crowd sounds like it could get a little complicated. An epic battle of crowds. There could be bumping, fist pumping, who knows what would happen when the music starts. Unsafe at any BPM. Flash mob? Here? Really? Doesn't that sound dangerous?
Sheesh.
You're thinking too much on it. It's gonna be fine. This isn't my first flash mob, you know. It's not? Nah, and it's all gone off without a hitch. No deaths, even. I've been planning this for months, and it's taken coordination from all the leaders of all the Showtime groups. There's a lot of work from all sides to make this come together. Now all that's left is to actually do it. In fact, you should come watch it. I was about to respond when a very elegantly dressed gentleman caught my eye. He wore a black proper tailcoat with an ornate sigil pinned into his breast. Accompanying his suit, he had fashioned himself with white regal gloves. With a cloth draped over his arm, he held tightly onto an antique tea kettle. As he approached, the crowd crowded like waves for Moses. There were oohs and ahs from onlookers, and people pulled out their phones to get a quick picture of him. Like the rest of the crowd, I was taken aback at how immaculate this butler was. Absolute perfection. Felt like I had time warped back to the 1800s and about to have tea with royalty. He stepped up to me and Teo and gave us a slight bow. Normally, this would be ridiculously out of place, but not an arcade convention. He's a character from a hot fighting game called Melee Maidens. It's all about ninja maids and battle butlers duking it out for the right to serve at a fancy party or something. Tea. Earl Grey. Hot. This cosplayer is decked out in full butler regalia, teapot and all. I think I'll play along in this charade. Just in time. The dilithium crystals are busted and the replicators are on the fritz, number 1. Make it so. Hulyen, it's me. Huh? How does the mystery butler know my name? Do I have a stalker who is also a butler? What if we work together? Huh? Did Francine hire someone and not tell me about it? How long have Gavin, Naomi, and Ashley? Took you long enough, jeez. The confused look on your face. Heh. Priceless. Have you never seen Ashley's crossplay before? Possibly? Probably not. What's crossplay? It's when you cosplay as another gender. Oh, okay. Ashley, seriously, you look completely different. I didn't even recognize you. I'm sorry I let you think otherwise for a minute, but it was all in good fun. No worries, it's pretty impressive work. Oh, it's not impressive at all. I mean, I could have done a much better job at sewing the coattails, and I need to be like 5 inches taller, and I didn't get to the gym enough before this. You can't change any of that now, and honestly, it looks fine. Regardless, the cosplay parade is starting soon, and I need to get over there. You should come with me. Hey now, Hulyen was going with me to the Showtime Stage gathering. Well, whatever she wants to do, it's her choice. That's fair. Either way, it'd be a good opportunity to promote Funplex Rising to one crowd or another. So would you like to come with me to the cosplay parade? Or join me in the flash mob? Cosplay. Huzzah! This way! Ashley led the way as we weaved between people in the crowd. Also, I romanced Teo the first playthrough that I did of this a few years ago, so I know what happens in the other one, so I want to see this one. There's so much content in this game. We traveled through the largest exhibit hall to get to the cosplay gathering. Ashley had mentioned it was in the Pac-Man Theater, which meant risking our lives through the most densely packed hall of the entire con. I thought the main hall was bad, but this was 1,000 times worse. At one point, they announced the show floor had just opened up and a huge rush of people came straight for us. Gave me flashbacks to that one time I worked at shoe shop retail over the holidays. The horror. The horror. The gamer stampede came straight toward us, wild eyes and groping hands. I thought for sure I was going to get trampled to death. But at the last second, Ashley pulled me to safety. You gotta be more careful. Don't lose sight of me. She points to her eyes, and back to mine, our eyes now locked forever in a mystical eye-locking spell. Eventually, after several more attempts in my life through various death by copious amounts of people, we made our way to the Pac-Man Theater. This is why you find a con friend who's experienced with conventions. Also works for concerts. I've been concert friend for many people. The theater was huge, capable of packing in several hundred people. Most of those seats were already taken, too, and people were milling about the auditorium aisles. My floor attendance senses detected this as a fire hazard, but a huge stage had been set up in front of us where normally there'd be a table for the speakers, like in a panel discussion forum. Since the theater is so large, they place projector screens on either side of the stage, so whatever is happening can be seen by those sitting in the back row. It's safe to assume this is one of the auditoriums saved for the most popular panels, and now the cosplay parade? Ashley, what exactly is a cosplay parade? I'm so glad you asked.
Let's see.
It's where all the cosplayers get together, line up, and show off their latest creations for the masses on the theater stage up front there. Now that I think about it, kinda self-explanatory, right? Sometimes they even give prizes to the best cosplayers, but this one's pretty chill. No prizes? Not even a shiny plastic cup to heft over your head? Maybe one day. Today we are here to appreciate each other's talents and have fun. Before I can interject again, Ashley runs over to a person dressed as a maid. Looks very uniform to Ashley's butler cosplay. Maybe they're from the same game?
Oh my gosh!
I absolutely adore your Mia from Melee Maidens. It's totally cute, and your sword, incredible. Thank you, I made it from craft form in Warbla. It only took like 30 hours to do. That's so professional looking, dang. And I can't get over how dapper your Angus is. The details you put into his pocket watch are phenomenal. I actually found this watch at a thrift shop and then just molded the extra embellishments on with clay. This went on for some time. I felt it would be rude to interrupt Ashley when she's obviously having so much fun being part of her community. As they continued to chat about making costumes, I noticed more and more cosplayers were filing into the theater. For once in my life, I actually felt uncomfortable wearing my usual comfy as heck hoodie. I felt underdressed compared to all the Melee Maidens cosplayers. Seriously, was this a costume ball or a black tie gala? Not even mentioning the congregation of feathers, capes, prop weapons, and wings. And someone in a giant Moopy costume made out of square foam pixels. Percy would be delighted to see that. From all the visual chaos, the vibe remained pretty chill and friendly. Just folks sharing a common joy in dressing up as someone else. Eventually, Ashley parted from her conversation to check on me. Sorry, sometimes I just get so swept up in it all. I get it. Back at the Funplex, you mentioned that you can only see some of your friends here at these cosplay events. How do you know it's not Percy? Exactly. New headcanon, Percy's in there. Oh yeah, cosplayers travel all over. More than other gaming communities, I bet. Do you know everyone here? Oh no, I know a good amount of people here, but everyone? Nah. Sure seems like you do. I've seen at least 30 people come up and compliment your butler. Hey, nice Angus, love the tailcoat. Cosplayer with a sweet hat. Thankies.
Thankies.
Oh. There, see? See what I mean? You're mega popular. You think we could spin that into some kind of cosplay event at Funplex Rising? Hey, great idea. We can have a real cosplay contest. And I'm gonna win. What's this, competitive, Ashley? You've been taking notes from Queen Bee, haven't you? What? Don't tell me you saw us practicing in the bathroom the other day. I didn't. But now I can't get that image out of my mind. We ladies gotta stick together. Ladies helping ladies. Am I right? So right. Our chuckles were interrupted by one of the Max attendants. Judge Rando, if you are participating in the cosplay parade, I need you to gather in the backstage green room. I repeat, all cosplayers proceed to the green room. Like a slow herd of brightly colored sheep, Ashley and I move into the next room to join the rest of the cosplayers. When we get to the front of the line, the attendant stopped me dead in my tracks. Cosplayers only, no handlers unless you are visibly holding up something. Handlers? Oh. Hey, Hulyen? Ashley tilts her head as if a signal for me to step aside. Excuse us, we'll be right back. If you want to be a part of the parade, you have to be back here in the next 20 minutes. I step out of line and stand next to Ashley, who is digging through her bag. I was hoping it wasn't going to come to this, but I feel like this is our only option. Oh god, I'm about to have the most slapdash cosplay accessory ever. Ashley pulls out a surprisingly fancy and elegant maid outfit. I stand corrected. That's amazing. And then hands it to me. How did she have time for that? She's a monster. In the best possible way. I need you to wear this. Wait, you just happen to have this? This is all too convenient that Ashley has a maid cosplay just tucked away, roughly in my size, prepared for something like this. I'm onto you. What do you mean? First of all, why exactly do I need to wear this? Secondly, you planned for this, didn't you? Yeah, I like the I am the maid to order, but, this was... I had to call her out on this. And lastly, you just wanted to see me in a maid outfit. 1, you need to wear this to get on stage as part of the cosplay parade. A moment in the spotlight would help you spread word about Funplex Rising, right? We're better than in the biggest auditorium at Max. 2, I did plan for this. Sometimes handlers aren't allowed on stage with their cosplayers, and I need to get you... Ashley pointed to me, then to the theater stage. On there. 3, yes, duh.
Nope.
But I'm not going to force you to do something you don't want to. If you don't want to take the spotlight with me, don't worry. I'll still help promote the event. It's totally up to you, okay? And no hard feelings either way. Well, this would be a terrific opportunity for me to promote my event. Is a bit of a personal embarrassment the price I pay, or should I just leave that to her? Oh, I'm going to do it. Can't say I'm totally thrilled, but, well, why not? I'm willing to do it to help get the word out. Count me in. Also, if someone had a maid outfit for a cosplay parade randomly in my size ready to go, hell yeah. Sign me up for that. That's amazing. I know. Great! Trust me, this will be tons of fun. We made our way to the nearest bathrooms, and I changed into the maid outfit. I struggled to figure out all the clasps and what velcros to what, but Ashley took the time to help me get situated. Once we were done, we headed backstage, which I'd say resembles the Funplex break room, but hey, same purpose, same function. I'm pretty sure it's flipped with a different poster. Here, the cosplayers lie in wait for the big show to start, including one particular butler and a newly minted maid. Like, I don't know how you got my measurements, but I'm not complaining. Yup. Squee! You look so cute! I wish I looked half as cute as you do in this. But seriously, you were gonna have to do this with me more often. You make a perfect Alice. Alice? Right, I forgot you know nothing of melee maidens. Alice is the head maid of the Neko Manor. I want to be that, yes. Okay. So Angus, that's me, and Alice, that's you, are siblings fighting along each other to prevent other maids and butlers from taking over the estate. They fight for Lady Nice.
Oh my!
Oh, and I almost forgot. Ashley pulls out more costume stuff from her pack. This time, it's a set of cat ears and a tail. Alice is a cat girl. What? But you don't have any cat ears, and I thought we were siblings. Shh. Spoilers! You don't find out that they're siblings until after you beat Angus's story arc. When the game starts, Angus has amnesia, and after you win, Alice appears and tells you everything. Angus's power is unleashed and becomes his old catboy self. It also unlocks an extra skin you can play with, but now we've gotten very far off track. Satisfied? Any more questions? So Katie, when are we doing cosplay sibling made cat people? We could put Arcade Spirit insignia on it somehow to make it obvious, like on the teapot when you have money to put in cosplay. If you have a suit, I can probably help with the rest. I think that covers it. Ashley fashions the cat tail on the back of the maid dress and places the headband on my head. With the costume finalized, I take a long, hard look in the mirror. Ah, that's adorable. And okay, it's not half bad. It's definitely not me, but I can live with this. No, it me. Oh good, Katie and Steph are here. Who? They're a couple of my good cosplay friends. And they're way more talented than me, even. Yeah. They just so happen to be MCs for the cosplay parade. Ashley waves over to them and they smile, waving back. I talked with them earlier. And after the parade, they'll let us come up on stage and talk about Funplex Rising. Whoa, really? Really. Thank you so much, Ashley. That'll help a ton. Yep, it helps to know people sometimes. We found a few other cosplayers who dressed up as other Melee Maidens characters, and we all formed up into a group. Even though we were together, Ashley and I kept to ourselves save for pleasantries. As we chatted away, the Max attendant came back to give us final warning before we went on stage. Everyone listen up, we've got 10 minutes before the parade. Make sure you're all ready to go. I think I'm experiencing performance anxiety. My heart rate's increased and I feel flushed. Pressure to look perfect is too much. Ashley, do I look okay? Are my ears on straight? What about the tail? You look fine. Trust me.
Amazing!
You are the best cat girl maid I've ever seen. I bet you say that to all your cosplay friends. I don't. Honest. Well, I think that your, what did you call it, crossplay? It's fantastic. Why did you choose to crossplay as Angus anyway? I would have expected you to be one of the other fancy maids.
I crossplay because that's what makes me feel most comfortable. At first, I dressed as various boys because I adored those characters so much, you know? But the more I did it, the more I had fun with it. The more I began to feel like me. And then I wanted to do it more and more. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what that means in relation to who I am, and that's the confusing part. But I guess that's all part of the journey about finding out more about myself. I know it's hard to understand, but just know that I'm working on being happy with myself.
Not that hard to understand.
And one day, I'll be able to put words into what I'm feeling. But until then, I'll enjoy the ride.
I see. Hope I didn't put pressure into you oversharing just now.
I wouldn't have shared it if I didn't feel comfortable with you.
Oh.
I mean this with all my heart. You are a cherished friend.
Oh. Well, gosh. Thanks, Ashley. I really appreciate the trust you put in me. I won't let you down. So Ashley might be trans, got it? Yep. Either gender fluid, or non-binary, or a dude. Or just, like, dressing up in suits and stuff. All valid options. Cosplayers, the time is nigh. Once again, the attendant started barking orders at us. We all shuffled into another line, like how we were told to do earlier, and slowly we began filing out of the room. The closer we got to the stage doors, the more I feel the nerves creep in. We're next. Melee Maidens group, go. Now. Ashley looks over at me, just beaming. This is her life, her everything. Take a deep breath, I close my eyes, taking in as much air as I can. I hold it in for a long moment before exhaling. I open my eyes slowly and take a step into the Pac-Man theater and onto the stage. I'm following Ashley, who is following the rest of the maid and butler crew. Once all of us are on stage, the MCs announce us as the Melee Maidens group. As I look out in front of us, I can see a completely packed theater. It's hard to make out specific faces due to the stage lights, but I can see the outlines of hundreds of people. A rush of adrenaline surges through my body and I look over to Ashley. A proper butler, she takes each step with purpose and elegance. She isn't breaking character for anything. Not all the cheers in the audience, not all the people smiling and laughing around her. Never break kayfabe. She is Angus and she's owning it. The announcers ask us to strike a pose on 3, 2, 1. Fighting pose. I bring up my fists, ready for some fisticuffs. Not that I've ever taken a martial arts class, but I've seen enough martial arts games to know some basic style. We finish holding our poses long enough for everyone in the audience to get a good amount of pictures of us. And once a sufficient amount of snaps have been snapped, an MC instructs us to stay on the stage, passing Ashley a microphone for the big Funplex Rising announcement.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It means so much to us that you could join my sister Alice and I here at Neko Manor. As you know, we adore organizing exorbitant galas at Lady Niace's estate. However, Alice and I are planning a very extravagant event at a very extravagant location. Too bad there wasn't a catgirl pose. I guess that would be the flirty pose. But it is a fighting game, so random fighting pose would be my actual go-to in this situation without being familiar with the material. Actually, I'd be about equal to do either one of those. Go on, Alice. Tell them everything. Ashley hands the mic to me. Watching her never break character has inspired me to play along too. That's right, Angus. Next weekend we'll be hosting a costume contest at Francine's Arcade Funplex at the Twin Pines Mall. It's all part of Funplex Rising, along with a Fist of Discomfort tournament, a world record attempt on Loopy's Magical Maze, and the reveal of a rare and mysterious game. Oh my, first time the public will have seen it? You know it, brother. This isn't the event to miss. It will be the most noteworthy event of the season. And remember, this is a private affair only, so please only tell your closest friends. Ashley winks to the audience before bowing. Another rush of cheers fills the theater as we walk off stage for a second time. The MCs give their closing words and dismiss the audience. As people begin exiting the auditorium, I feel my phone vibrate my hidden dress pocket. Ashley is the best! At first it was just a couple vibrations, but before I could realize what was happening, my phone started seizing. What the? I pulled my phone from the pocket and saw the Funplex's face wall had over 1,000 shiny new likes. No, really, what the hell?
Hey, listen.
The cosplay parade is a huge part of every Max and generates thousands of photos and articles online. Also, it was being live streamed. Ashley, you failed to mention that part. Well, you seem so nervous and I didn't want to make it worse.
Good work.
And that act you pulled just now has generated a 700% increase of the traffic on our site. I also gobbled up some paid keywords to see if anyone posts about cosplay at Max, so if anyone posts about cosplay at Max, they will see an ad for Funplex Rising. Pretty genius, right? Quickly, I scanned my own face wall, and even people I knew who weren't arcaders were talking up a storm about it. I could also hear cosplayers discussing it as we waited for the auditorium to clear out. I can't wait till next weekend. That Funplex Rising thing sounds like a blast. I'm totally going to that Funplex place. Otaku Rando was excited Rando. Do I want to wear my next cosplay there? We did it! I had lots of help from you too, Ashley. Don't count yourself out. We make a pretty great team. It's great to hear all the buzz around the cosplay community, and Iris helped out with the social media aspect. Can't believe it was that easy. I mean, tiring, but easy. That was great fun and all, but I'm completely exhausted. Me too. I need a break from all this. Some time to collect my thoughts, rest my eyes from all those flashing lights. I'm still seeing spots. You hear that Gavin and Naomi are running a pop-up arcade for the Funplex? A bunch of other local arcades are doing the same over in Hall B. Might be worth stopping by for a breather with some friends. Make sure they aren't slacking. That sounds like a solid plan. You gonna come with me? Not quite yet. I need to do some touch-ups on my makeup. How about I meet you there later? Great. See you soon. Hydrate. Yeah, there's very little voiced in this chapter so far. I wave bye to Ashley as I make my way toward the restrooms to get changed back into my usual clothes for the time being. Then it's off to Exhibit Hall B on the lookout for Gavin's serious face or Naomi's kind one. Let's see, Exhibit Hall B. Very much resembles Exhibit Hall A, where I started my day. Industry types, dealers, swag, crowds. There's definitely more actual arcade games here, as local places who have set up pop-up arcades all over the place. It's hard to notice the smaller displays with the giant garish Deco's Palace display eating up the center, but I managed to crawl my way around the edges to find... See, he wasn't in the giant outfit, he was here, playing. Well no, pretty much everybody else in the crew, save for Francine. Teo and Ashley are off hanging out their respective communities. I've got some time, maybe I can bend someone's ear. Meanwhile... Let's see, what is everybody doing right now? Gavin's reading the news, Naomi's fixing up Galaga, Percy is playing around with Nibbler, Queen Bee's between matches. Naomi! Naomi looks totally frustrated, while the monitor chassis for her game partially removed, well, so she can tinker with it with the monitor chassis. There's definitely net glow, so the net can't be cracked, so why am I getting nothing at all? Hey, Naomi? Oh! Sorry, I was wrapped up in my own little world there. What's up? I'm taking a break, and as of now, you are on break as well. That's sweet, but I really can't... You're getting nowhere with that game. Take a break. Consider it in order. I guess I'm on break then. Cool, cool. You want to get away from the crowd for a bit? Find a quiet corner and hang out, decompress a bit?
Ugh.
Absolutely. I can busy myself with the games, but ugh, I hate the crowds. Always have every year I go to Max. Naomi reaches out and grabs my hand before I can object and drags us off to a semi-quiet little niche between two display booths. Good for a private conversation. Okay. No broken games, no chattering strangers. Good. Honestly, I love my retro games, but I wish they'd break down less often. All this 1980X tech is fun to play with. Especially when downtime is lost profits. Okay, so I gotta know. Why the fixation on retro games? Not saying they aren't cool, it's just not something folks our age are usually into, right?
I'd contest that with posts by 20-somethings on classic game collector sites. But you're really asking why I'm into this stuff.
I know people in those classic game collector sites. I know a lot of people on those sites.
And hey, what's not to love? The cool glow of a cathode ray tube, blooming color through the scan lines, the simple and clean pixel art style. One stick, a few buttons, easy to learn, hard to master. You can keep your crazy networked real-time strategy beat-em-up esports fighter thingies. Give me a maze, or a spaceship, or a bunch of dots any day.
Or a princess to rescue and turtles to jump on. Actually, this wouldn't be too hard of a cosplay either. Get like a barista apron, make some buttons, and a shirt. Right, well, more the jumping than the rescuing, although I do like the princess rescuing the prince in Wyvern Keep. Good pick. Weren't you pulling for me to pick Phrase Invaders? Well, yeah, but I can dig Wyvern Keep too. So how'd you get started with retro games? Well, I know the cliche answer is I had an older brother who introduced me to games, but that's basically the truth. Sort of? Indirectly, I guess. For a whole summer, my jerk of a brother was in charge of babysitting me. And being a teenager, he didn't want a brother. He wanted to go to the arcade and hang with his friends. So he dragged little old me with him to the arcade, gave me a fistful of tokens, and told me to go keep myself busy. First I played what all the kids played. Ticket games. Prize games. But I got bored with it fast, realizing I wasn't winning much of anything. Honestly, kids are smart, right? They gotta realize they're being scammed. Well, when you really want a toy with all your heart... Actually, it does depend on the game. Some games are more obvious about the scam than others. Which games were you playing back then? I kept moving from game to game, trying to find one that was actually fun. I never did. Guess I'm lucky I clued in quickly that it was a pointless token sink. Plus, well, there was one other problem with the ticket game area. Too many kids. Just way too many kids I didn't know from schools I didn't go to. I was too timid to ask someone to leave a game I wanted to play, or even hover around them worried they might talk to me. I'm really not that good with strangers. Huge crowds of them. Once I get to know someone, well, they're not a stranger. That's different. Like you. I got to know you quickly enough. Considering she gave me her lunch on day one, quickly indeed. But there was one area of the arcade which had next to nobody playing games, where I didn't need to put a quarter up and wait in line, where everything was fun. Retro games. Exactly. Only a few older guys back there. I could play anything I wanted, every game was a single token, and it was all so amazingly cool and flashy and colorful and... Oh, it was paradise. Those games were my new best friends. Now I look forward to my jerk of a brother abandoned me in the arcade to go play fighting games. Eventually summer vacation ended and it was back to school, but I kept visiting arcades, especially ones with good retro collections. So that's how I got into classic arcade games. And that's how you caught Pac-Man fever. The only prescription is more Pac-Man. Somebody call a doctor! This girl's got Pac-Man fever! Sadly, it is an incurable condition. Oh, I bought that album! Buckner and Garcia. Amazing stuff. It's got all sorts of songs on it about Donkey Kong, Centipede, Frogger. You can borrow my copy if you want. I've got it on vinyl and tape. I lack any hardware whatsoever which can play those. Hey, I have a turntable. I probably have a tape deck somewhere. Maybe not? Cassette tape might actually be tough at the moment. I can play most other things. Including minidisc, because I was that kid in high school. Really? But vinyl is so much better than MP3. Vinyl is a lot of upkeep. And every scratch makes it permanently less good fidelity. Ladies and gentlemen, Naomi Fairchild, the hipster who could fit in your pocket. I know it's a little weird for me not to be interested in newer games. It's not like new games are universally awful. But I like what I like. I love what I love. I do what I love for a living. How cool is that? As long as the Funplex stays open and keeps its retro spirit bright, I'll be happy. Well, event manager Hulyen will see to it that we keep our doors open. That's why I'm here at Max, to make this event the big deal it deserves to be. Thanks so much for that. I'm no good at the meet and greet stuff. I think we should both get back to what we do best. For the glory of the Funplex. For the glory of the Funplex. The two of us make our way back to the mini Funplex. Her to resume tinkering, me to catch up with Teo and Ashley again. My current status? Sitting. And enjoying it. Took a few minutes of searching and stalking, but eventually I found an open seat in the pop-up arcade. While the sit is satisfying, the rest of everything else is miserable. My feet are sore from walking all over, and I don't remember the last time I ate. I feel dehydrated, and I have a slight headache from all the noise. Oh no, always bring water with you and drink lots of it. There's still 4 more hours of Max left. Oh, if Gavin saw me in my current state, leaning back, arms at my side, completely exhausted, I can picture it clearly. He'd be looming over me with his dark, unfettered eyes. He would lean in close and frown. Grumbling, he'd say, "Hulyen, may I remind you, these seats are for patrons only." You guys don't know I'm gonna do that this year? But stay hydrated? I audibly sighed just thinking about it. Oh, masks. Not coming off till I'm home. Can you get your hands on one of the ones that has like a flap maybe? Or get a water bottle with like a straw you can put under the bottom of the mask just slightly? I'll help you brainstorm it. We'll come up with a solution for you, because hydration is important. As luck would have it, Gavin and Naomi are huddled over the Galaga cabinet trying to figure out where the monitor's not working. Freedom. My buns are experiencing the best freedom has to offer. And while my body feels like it could collapse at any moment, I feel good about it. Right? Getting the word out about Funplex Rising was great. Seeing people's faces light up with excitement is why I'm really here. Plus, spending time with Ashley was an added bonus. She's certainly got passion to spare. I smiled to myself. The pain in my heels and the grumbling in my tummy. Worth it. While enjoying the respite, I let my eyes close for a moment. And of course, the second I do that, I hear footfalls closing in. There you are! We've been looking all over for you. We were specifically going to meet back up here at the Funplex pop-up arcade. Yeah, but we didn't expect you to be tucked in the darkest corner of the arcade. I'm hiding from Gavin. He'll put me to work if he sees me. Hiding behind the pinball machines is probably not the smartest choice, then. You know how much he loves pinball. A very spare moment he thinks no one is watching him is spent getting that high score. I have so many candid pictures on my phone of him playing pinball. You have to show me, like, right now. His concentration face is so cute. Where I can even react. Ashley has her phone out and is scrolling through pictures of Gavin. Both look up at me guiltily. Don't we have more important matters? Max is over in a few hours, and we'll have a lot of work left to do. You're right. Please don't tell Gavin. Your secret is safe with me. Right, so business time. I think I got something. Go on. I have a friend, and she's an indie arcade developer. The new title she's been working on is amazing. It's got co-op, it's got competition, it's got magical schoolgirls. Now you're talking. It's got it all. Wait, I'm pretty sure I've heard of this game. Is it called Magical Moon Cuties? Yeah, that's the one. She's thinking about premiering it at Funplex Rising.
Oh my gosh!
It would be cooler than cool. Sounds interesting enough. Might make for another game for people to play. Definitely. My friend is somewhat renowned in the indie scene, and the game's been in development for years. I'm sure it would create some buzz at least. Are you kidding, Teo? We'd be the talk of the arcade world. I do like being the talk of world-sized things. Let's go check it out. I stand up, invigorated by the news. As I start walking back toward the hall with Teo, I hear a call from behind me. Wait! I turn and see Ashley standing there, fidgeting. Her green eyes are darting back and forth nervously. Ashley? I, too, have a plan. She motions for us to come back towards her, which we do.
Huh?
What's your idea, Ashley? She puts an arm around Teo and the other one around me, huddling the three of us together. So what I'm proposing might not be the most legal course of action. I mean, to be fair, we got here through not the most legal course of action. Thanks, Iris. Do I even want to know? You've seen the huge monitors hanging from the ceiling in the middle of all the major halls, right? How could I miss them? They're constantly bombarding us with ads and false hopes of high-quality convention food. No matter how amazingly tempting that $9 hot dog looks on the big screen, don't even think about it. Exactly my point. Everyone is looking at it. I know a way to sneak into the back area. All we have to do is break into the main communications center and upload the flyer Hulyen made into rotation.
Whoa!
You want to do what? Shh! Keep your voice down, Teo. Unless you want to get arrested for being an accomplice. It's a genius plan. Everyone at Max will see our name in lights. Okay, so yeah, that's a less than legal way of getting the word out, but I have to admit you've got me intrigued. And it'd definitely work. But I don't know. There's no way you won't get caught. Not if Iris does it. Trust me.
What about?
Of course, we need to go in disguise. I'm already nicely disguised, but Hulyen would need to switch into something way more distracting. Why more distracting, exactly? Distract from your face, of course. What I'm trying to say is people remember the costume, not the person wearing it. Swinging back to your Cardi is part of the plan. Good point, good point. Which means, made Hulyen rides again! I knew it. Come on, you did so great on stage. Think of this as your encore. How about it? Let's not forget about Magical Moon Cuties. It's a valid alternative. Both options are valid, honestly. Splashy advertising would certainly drive foot traffic, even if getting it up there would be dodgy. Importantly, Iris could help us do it safely without anyone noticing. Safer than Ashley going off on her own to try this inadvisable stunt. But a highly anticipated indie title might do the trick, and result in far less jail time. We should check out Magical Moon Cuties. It seems like a terrible idea. Ashley, you got this. You don't need any help from me. Oh, maybe I regret this. She goes on her own, she's getting arrested. Oh. Let's try to keep Ashley from getting arrested. Wearing a disguise that doesn't involve talking to strangers and sounds like more fun than battling my way through more sweaty, pulsating crowds. Yeah, letting her go alone does sound bad. Teo's got the indie creator on his own. I wore that cosplay before. I can do it again. Beats being recognized in my regular clothes at any rate. Besides, I don't know if going with Teo is something I could emotionally or mentally do at this point. My social meter is at its limit after this morning. Ashley, I'll go with you on your heist. Fetch mine maid outfit, good sir. Ashley hands over the now familiar maid outfit, ready to go. As for Teo, since he is already friends with this indie arcade developer, Teo's gotten in on recruiting her for Funplex Rising. He doesn't really need me. Teo, I have complete confidence in you. I agree, I do have complete confidence in Teo for this. Play it real sick. You know, play coy, say all the right words, wink a whole bunch. I demonstrate a big wink, using my entire face to show him how it's done. Oh my. Is that how you entice people you're interested in?
Mm-hmm.
Let's leave the flirting to me, shall we? You're just jealous you don't have these mad skills. I mean, skills. With a Z. Like the cool kids say. Uh-huh. Sure. Don't get into too much trouble without me. I don't want to see you on an episode of Cops tonight. I promise nothing, Teo. Good luck. I don't need luck. Don't forget to snatch a photo of Hulyen in that maid costume for me. You know it. I am standing right here. I can hear your every word. Peace. As the 3 went down to 2, I look over at Ashley, her expression brimming with excitement. Maybe even too much excitement. And I made the right choice. I quickly scanned my memories from the various cop and lawyer dramas I'd seen. What was the punishment for breaking and entering, trespassing, and tampering with equipment? Couldn't be more than, what, 10 years? Or possibly death. Too late to back down now. I dug my own grave, perhaps literally, with Ashley. Well, ready as I'll ever be. That's the spirit. So what exactly is our plan? I'm so happy you asked. You see that door next to the restrooms across the expo hall? I like the Persona-style music going here. The one that has a sign that specifically states authorized personnel only? That's the one. Hulyen is worried now. Trust me. My trust wavered as she began rifling through her bag and removed a rolled-up poster board. As Ashley unraveled it, I noticed that it looked oddly like blueprints. No, it was blueprints. Blueprints of the entire convention center. How the... what... why? Listen, all we have to do is go through those doors, take our way along the corridors, and we're there. Her finger traced the exact route as she talked me through it. How long is she prepared? No kidding. The communication center should be at the end of that passageway. Easy, right? Yep, easy. Easier than breaking the right stick on the Killer Instinct cabinet at the Funplex. Oh man, Naomi is always fixing that machine. It never works properly.
First, we'll get you changed. We can use the bathrooms for that. I'll play lookout while you get your maid on.
She is way too excited for this. So let me get this straight before I go in and change. If someone spots us while we are in our disguises, we just strip down and ditch the costumes?
One does not simply ditch the cosplay. We would change out of the costumes, hastily of course, and stash them in a secret safe place until we could retrieve them again.
Yeah, that's the correct answer. Note to self, do not talk about disregarding Ashley's cosplay. Ever. Roger that, leave disguises in hiding spot, make sure nothing bad happens to them.
Great! Now get in the bathroom and suit up for battle. Time's a-wastin'.
Here we are once again. It was a lot easier getting into the maid dress a second time, and I could actually do it by myself while Ashley waited outside my stall. I look at my reflection staring back at me. I'm not thrilled about donning this outfit again, but I do look pretty good in it. I keep repeating, it's for the greater good, over and over in my head. Perfection! And now we commence with part 2. Ashley looks both ways before we exit the restroom. People don't even seem fazed by us either. I guess seeing a maid and butler at a convention is normal. In other words, it actually is the perfect disguise. We fit in by sticking out. Go figure. We shuffle back to the expo hall of Max and stand in front of the looming doors with the authorized personnel only sign. The big red letters bore deep into my soul, reminding me of its unlawfulness in breaking the rules. Rules schmools, let me through. Hang on, is there another way in? There has to be a different route we can take that has less threatening words emblazoned all over it in red letters. Ashley skims the blueprints once again. We would have to go around to the other side of the convention center, and it would be a longer trek to the communications room. But it might be an unmarked door to ease your conscience. Ah, forget it. That'd take too long. I'll just swallow my pride here and now. Good. Ashley grabs my hand and pushes onward through the door like she owns the place. I close my eyes tightly as I realize she's dragging me onto the other side. Confidence is key. It's true. As the door closes behind me, I carefully open my eyes. We're alone. No big bad boss monster looms back here, no flashing lights or laser beam maces we have to crawl through. Just some industrial-style back hallway. Simple brick walls, bending pipes overhead, and endless concrete floors. I'm honestly a little disappointed with how mundane it all is. Is this really it? These are just the access halls and rooms for employees to use so they don't have to travel across the con floor. Nothing fancy. What exactly were you expecting? A horde of security guards, all with riot gear, maybe some intricate obstacle course, and an eye scanner to confirm identification. Now who has the overactive imagination? Sorry to burst your bubble, but nothing like that back here. Just you, me, and Iris.
Beep, beep.
Hello, Ashley. Hello, Hulyen. Are you ready for Operation Hot Dog Takedown? Yes, sir, Ashley, sir! Whoa, whoa, what is this Operation Worm Weenies thing? And Iris, why are you and Ashley in cahoots without me?
My sources say yes.
Ashley sent me all the information earlier. A copy of the flyer and her plans for removing all the other ads on the Jumbotrons. I am still unclear on hot dogs and why humans crave them, however. I mean, why would you want compressed pizza parts when pizza's on a... Not now, Iris. Between my computer skills and Iris, we've got everything we need to hack into the mainframe. She's gonna be a great help. Wait. Max has a mainframe? And is the mainframe that giant room-sized wall of hardware with spinning tape drives and stuff? Nah, nothing like that. You'll see soon enough. According to the Max floor layout, the convention center blueprints, it should be this way. Ashley and I tiptoe our way closer to the communications room, taking our time to listen for footsteps and other noises. And nothing eventful happens. That is until we round the first vent. We both spot a Max enforcer leaning up against the wall. Luckily, his attention is diverted into furiously typing on his cell phone. We quickly duck back around the corner and collect our thoughts in hushed voices. What do we do now? We can't just walk down that hallway. True, our path is blocked momentarily, but we can find a way past this. There might be another route to take. Let's consult the blueprints. As we start to look, we hear footprints. Don't think we have time for that, Ashley. The steps get louder and louder as he approaches us. It's coming straight down the hall toward us. There has to be something we can do. I quickly scan our surroundings, see a broken off small shard of the concrete floor and a shallow indent in the wall across from us. We have to act now. For the shard as a distraction, run for the recess in the wall or wait for conditions to improve. Ashley and I both glance over at the almost closet-like nook across from us, then back at each other, then once more back at the wall. Like we had a Vulcan mind meld earlier, we both dart over towards it. There was barely just enough room for both of us to squeeze into the recess together. Squished up against one another, we both avoid direct eye contact to make the whole thing less awkward. The moment passes, however, when the Max Enforcer walks right by us without noticing us. We both breathe a sigh of relief before we slink around the corner, avoiding the sentry's gaze. We weren't out of the woods yet. Hoping to avoid any more sentinels, we scurried the rest of the way until we reached the door of the communications room. We could tell we were at the correct place because of the sign over it that read communications room. Unless it was a clever ruse. We did it! That was some quick thinking back there. Now all we have to do is... I reach down, grabbing hold of the door, and turn it. Locked. Locked. Well, drat. Now where are we going to find a key? Who even has the key? Do we need to pickpocket a staffer? I don't know how to pickpocket anyone. I got this one. Stunned, I watch as Ashley removes a bobby pin from her wig and begins to pick the lock on the door. Why am I not surprised? What? I thought that was all movie magic. You can't really pick a lock with a simple hair accessory, right? Watch me. I do just that. She straightens out the bobby pin and then bends and twists until it breaks in two. Taking the newly crafted metal stick, she inserts them both into the lock and begins fiddling with it. In a mere matter of minutes, I hear a click. And that's how you pick a lock. Next time I lock myself out of my apartment, I'm calling you instead of the locksmith. Of course, I'll drop whatever I'm doing and come right over. I can't have my very good friend cold and alone outside her apartment. Ashley smiles brightly as she easily opens the door to the communications room. It's dark, save for the glow from several computer monitors. The layout is similar to the room where we awaited our moment on stage, so I have no trouble finding what we're looking for. The main frame is really just some computers and security monitors showing different parts of Max, each camera focusing on various angles of the main halls. Have actual lockpicks and have never unlocked anything with them. They make clear locks for training so that you can see the different bits as you pick them. Now, what do we have here? Ashley turns around one of the swivel chairs and sits down in it in front of the computer desk. Operation Hot Dog Takedown is underway. As if she's been working this job for several years, she begins clacking away at the keyboard. So you don't even question why I have them. You're not my only friend who randomly has lockpicks. How do you think I know about there being clear locks to practice on? Alright, let's see what happens when we open this. Aha! Yes, perfect. Appears to be a fairly simple data store. Nice of them to name it Jumbotron. It really cuts down on the sleuthing. Excellent. I can see all the ads and information they rotate through. This shouldn't be a problem. Okay, now I need Iris.
Iris online.
Here I am. We'll plug in Iris into the main computer. Hand me your phone. This won't hurt Iris, right? Or nuke my phone? I'm on my second phone by this point. Relax, I'm a super duper hacker cutie. I know what I'm doing. I hand over my phone and Iris along with it. Ashley plugs Iris in and the magic begins. Hacking the Gibson now. Lowering firewalls. Phasing packet switch interlock.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
This may take some time. Please enjoy this recorded music. It's just so be gay, do crimes. Yup. So, do we just sit around, or...
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your patience. The intertubes are now unclogged. We're in. Great. Now we just switch out all the hot dog ads for the flyer of the Funplex Rising. We can be on our merry way. Understood. That doesn't sound so bad. This is actually, dare I say it, somewhat fun? Huh. That's odd. Fun just stopped. I don't like odd. What's odd? What? Appears as though an unidentified hacker has been here before us. I could follow their trail if you would like. Sure, it's just one of the employees who, lost their password and had to poke their way in. I'm not worried. Plus, we gotta get moving. Sure thing. The hot dog ads are removed from the Jumbotron rotation and replaced with ads for Funplex Rising.
What about...
Could be what the ghost thing was about. Iris, while you're in there, can you take out all the ads for Deco's Palace, too? Just for good measure. Sure thing. Ashley revolves on the chair and turns back to face me. See? That was... Ashley is interrupted by a sudden burst of awful noise. Quickly, she turns around in the swivel chair to see big red letters flash across the screen. Intruder detected? What does that mean? Ashley, why would there be an intruder? Hulyen, pretty sure we are the intruder. That's bad, right? That's not good. This is worse than good. Means the convention center security knows that we're here and it knows we're altering their program. It's trying to thwart us. So yeah, not good is an accurate portrayal of our situation. Ugh, if only I was better at this, we wouldn't be in such a mess. As Iris and Ashley explain what was happening, I see a timer pop up underneath the screen that kept flashing intruder detected. It was counting down from 5 minutes. Ashley? Iris? I pointed to the new problem. What the? Once the flyer was uploaded, it triggered a security warning. I think the hacker who came through here before sorta half-tripped it, so I didn't notice in time. Oops.
Poops.
Why does this program even trigger a security warning? It's literally for ads. All we're doing is uploading a new ad. That's my question. Smart thing to would have been cut down on the ads for both those things and replace some of them with your ad. Yeah, that's, basically what we did. Relax, everything is fine. We just need to input the administrator password to shut off the timer. I don't actually know the administrator password. I sort of slipped in around it to upload the ad. We can't turn this off without actual credentials.
So, now it's a race against time. What would the person who runs this place use as a password?
A completely random sequence of lowercase and uppercase letters, numbers, and punctuation that we'd never actually guess, even if given a million years. I've been running a series of randomized characters in a brute force attempt ever since we started talking, but nothing yet.
It's all psychology. We just have to get inside their head. Let's see. Maybe I could go check their social media account, learn their pet's first name, combine that with their kid's birthday.
Or just try password. Yep, and that's when I pluck a little yellow square from the edge of the monitor that reads P455W0RD. I called it. Here it is.
Yeah, well, okay, that works too.
A few keystrokes later and the alarm stopped cold.
Yes!
Oh, looky, it's all fuzzy and stuff, but I can see our flyer up on the monitors. We did it! Yeah, we did it! Wait, we did it! Our funplex is all over the screens. They'll know who's responsible and we'll all get the death penalty. How did I not see this obvious hole in my logic before? And KDM, you called this one. Relax. 2 words. Plausible deniability. It's the same flyer that's on the Funplex's website already. Anybody could have uploaded it. Without evidence, they can't prove nothing. In fact, they'll find proof of someone else was hacking the system earlier today, which means whoever that was, they'll get the blame. Okay, no death penalty. I can relax. Somewhat. Besides, we did it. Well, Iris and Ashley did it mostly. Admittedly, Iris was the brawn and Ashley the brain, or maybe it was the other way around. Either way, I'm completely stupefied. Since when is Ashley a tech whiz? Okay, I think we'd better get out of here, just in case. All those in favor of evacuation? Aye. Aye! We quickly abandoned ship, retreating back through the maze of tunnels to one of the main halls of Max, vanishing into the crowd. Glad we went along and found the password.
Oh, wow!
Check out the screens, our ads on all of them. Looking up, I can see our handiwork with my own 2 eyes. No more hot dogs, no more Deco's Palace, just Funplex propaganda. As I take in our moment of glory, I begin listening to the people surrounding us. Oh, hey, look, there's a new thing on the Jumbotron, says Brando Looky Loo. Funplex Rising? Sounds interesting. It's a lot of tournaments, too. We should check it out. How is it I've lived within spitting distance of a real arcade and never noticed? I'm so there. Did you hear that, Ashley? Sounds like we killed it. Yes. Yes, we did. Why don't you work for elite cyber hackers? With Ashley's unique skill set, I feel like she might be more suited to work for a group of hackers rather than working at the Funplex. Surprised you don't offer up your services to the hacktivists or corporate raiders out there. How do you know I haven't? True. Guess you can't really tell me or you'd have to kill me, right? Correct. I'll just keep quiet then. I went through a phase in high school where I was really obsessed with cutting-edge technology, electronics and technology. My group of friends and I got together during lunches and we just sit around in homeroom and talk tech. In fact, that's what we called it. Tech talk. We're all silly children at that point, watching too many hacker movies. One thing led to another, and we started wanting to know more. I think I was the only one who took it seriously, though. I even dressed up in cyberpunk fashion. I was completely obsessed. It became my passion for a good while. Eventually, however, everyone grew out of it. Except me. Then they all started mocking me for it, making fun of my punk outfits, or the fact that I spent all my time researching things like Arduinos and Raspberry Pi kits.
Aww.
It was awful. Some of my good friends whom I trusted completely turned on me. I began questioning myself on who I was and who I really wanted to be. Did I want to be this badass cyberpunk technophile, or did I want to follow my friends onto their next big infatuation? I regret it to this day, but I gave up on my dreams and followed my friends instead. At that time, they were what I had to believe in. Only now am I getting back into tech due to the always changing culture of cosplay. People use LEDs and robotics to make their weapons more badass or to have animated wings. I always figured cosplay was, you know, sewing and arts and crafts. It is, but it's cross-discipline. Hulyen, you haven't seen some of the most intensely complicated costumes I've made. Which reminds me of a certain someone going on about how arcade games involve electrical engineering, programming, graphic design, and even carpentry. Why don't you talk shop with Naomi more, then? She's a techie. You're a techie. Seems like there should be plenty of overlap, but I've never seen you two talking electronics. I figured there wasn't really any overlap. The kind of tech that enhances cosplay was invented after 1990X. Not her thing. I would like more friends to bounce some tech ideas off of. Who knows? Maybe we can both teach each other something new.
Amazing!
You know, I'm proud of myself. I took all that old knowledge and made it come through for us today. Think of what we accomplished. You should be proud. You've worked hard. As for me, I barely help, but my palms are weak. Or my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Mom spaghetti? Well, you can relax now. It's all good. You done good. But, you know, now that we removed all those hot dog ads, I sort of really want one. Really?
Yes!
Yeah, really, I'm starving, and honestly, just about anything sounds delicious. My tummy might regret it later tonight, but right now I could eat a whole bucket of ridiculously overpriced con dogs. My mouth started to water just thinking about ingesting food. I couldn't agree more, and if we suffer the effects of eating convention food, at least we suffer together. See, that's the spirit. I think there's actually a food court just over yonder. Ashley and I only had to walk about 500 feet to find the nearest vendor actually selling the infamous Franks. We're both so hungry that we each order 3. After dressing them up with all the fixins, we bring our pack of dogs to the nearest table and settle in for a feast. Right as I'm about to take my first bite, I can't help but notice that Ashley hasn't stopped giggling since we sat down. Ashley, you okay over there? Hehe, yes, no, maybe. I just can't say it, can I? What is it? It's too good, but no, I can't. What? What? Just say it. It's a real sausage fest in here. Ashley throws her head back and cackles wildly. I merely roll my eyes and groan. That bad, huh? Extremely. You know, I get along pretty well with Ashley, all told. And I chose to hang out with her all day, didn't I? Maybe it's time to, you know, make a move. Preferably before the greasy hot dogs start rapidly migrating through me. I might be crushing on you, Ashley. Ashley, I've really enjoyed spending all this time with you lately. It was such a fun time together, whenever we get up to hijinks like these, and, well... Oh?
Oh my!
Oh!
I have a great time with you too.
And, well, I'd like to spend more time doing just that. Exactly like what we're doing now. Outside the arcade. Just you and me.
Oh, yes please! Very much. I would like that.
Oh, she's adorable. Embarrassed and trying to hide her emotions, Ashley scarfs down another hot dog. We spend the rest of the meal both laughing together at each other's jokes and enjoying the other one's company. So we both get up from the table. Ashley puts her hand on my shoulder. Thanks for spending the entire day with me. It means a lot to me. Of course, I had a blast, even if it got a bit intense. I couldn't have spread the word about Funplex Rising without you. Oh, she took the gloves off before eating? Oh, I assume she did. I don't think she would, risk the integrity of the cosplay. Oh, it was nothing, really. See you soon! Ashley turns and simply skips away, leaving me to watch her disappear into another crowd. All in all, a successful day.
Beep beep.
You have a new text message. It was a tough sell without you there, but fortunately Michelle and I go way back. Magical Moon Cuties will debut at Funplex Rising. Yeah, good job, Teo. Huh. Glad he was able to pull it off without me. You should see the size of Teo's social web. I've tried mapping it, and wow, it just keeps going and going. Yours, in contrast, is, petite. Adorably so. Right. Time to head home. I promised I would meet Juniper just outside the main exit of the hall, and that's exactly where I was headed. The rush of fresh air hit me as I pushed the double glass doors open. It was nice. Refreshing. And had a much better smell than the one I'd been around all day. I didn't have to wait long until I saw Juniper. She bounced happily up to me. So, how was your first Max? It was... exhausting. My brain and body cannot function after today. I am drained from all facets of my being. Physically, emotionally, mentally. Oof, so tired. As to be expected with convention. Although in your case, you really outdid yourself and got smacked with 300% of what anyone else would have, yeah? How do you figure? Well, most people drop by Max, play some games, maybe attend a panel or two, do some shopping. They're here to be catered to. You, on the other hand, were doing the catering, and like any good caterer, that means spinning plates and doing 12 different things at once. You found interesting ways to push Funplex Rising and promote the Funplex as a whole. You worked your butt off to do it, so rather than attending Max, you were Max. Sure feels that way. I'm totally drained.
Ooh.
Kinda envy you, you know? It sounds like you had some great adventures today, other than designing that flyer. I didn't do much beyond playing a few games and buying cute t-shirts and stuff. But let me tell you, they are really super cute shirts. Glad I could support you, though, even if it was just, you know, by doodling up a flyer. Hey, don't sell yourself short. That flyer looked super professional. I mean, no fun Comic Sans, but still pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, I really enjoy doing stuff like that. I don't exactly get a lot of opportunities at the office to express myself. Okay, let's go home and get some real rest. We've both earned it. In fact, I'd say we took it, Juniper don't, to the max. He. Eee. That moment, the rest of the evening was a blur. I knew Juniper and I took the train back home, I heated up some pizza bagels, and I safely made it into my comfy bed. I think I was still in shock. At the beginning of the day, I thought no one was going to know about Funplex Rising. We'd be stuck as a relatively unknown mom-and-pop arcade. But now it seems like the whole world knows. Which is great, but also pretty nerve-wracking. I sighed heavily, letting my mixed emotions flow over me. There was no turning back now. What I set in motion will stay in motion. It can only get bigger and better from here. At least that's what I'm going to keep telling myself as I drift to sleep. I'm proud of what I accomplished today, and I can't wait to tell everyone at the Funplex about all I've done. I hope they're proud of me too. And before I know it, Funplex Rising will be upon us. You've cleared level 3 of Arcade Spirits. A winner is you. Now let's see your score. Looks like you and Ashley were having some good times. You're proving to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Also, you've scored 11,100 points. Go for the high score. Actually, I don't know what the high score is, but hey, go for it anyway. Do you want me to save your game before proceeding to level 4? Save the game. Alright, we're gonna switch to something else for the rest of the stream so I save my voice. This game remains so good. We currently romancing Ashley, who is adorable. Mega hacker cosplay wizard. And also insanely talented. She had a cosplay to go for us, and it's weird. Alright, I'm gonna run some ads, have a quick stretch, and we'll switch to